Okay, so just to start, I've put a QR code here if you wanna just grab the slide and follow me as long as I would speak, and also keep the slide after the conference. Okay. Before I start, I want to say big kudos to those guys, bravo guys, because I remember the first time I came to Montreal 2 years ago to give a conference, a talk about Flutter, was another team. And after like a year, 2 years, I was wondering what is going on with Flutter in Montreal, in Canada in general. So I'm very pleased, delighted to see that a new team is taking over. And I'm also very happy after the pandemic, everything that we've been through. I see some faces in real. I've met them remotely, and I see that yeah, the community behind Flutter is growing, is growing. I'm very happy for that. So kudos, guys, and so I've decided to talk about that something kind of different. I know you came here to join the Flutter Montreal, so it's Flutter, right? But behind Flutter is a language that I'm very I would say I fall in love with the language, and the beauty of Flutter is that language. And for many people who want to start their journey with Flutter, it's like, okay, I have to learn that, and boom, just start building my application. But if we take the time to really understand what is that, maybe we became another kind of developer. So I've just decided to talk about that and what we could do as, let's say, full stack developer using Dart to build your web application, to build your mobile application with Flutter, but maybe also thinking about building something different, your backend, or taking advantage of the cloud to build your next application. So that was my choice for this meetup. So allow me to introduce myself for those of you who doesn't know me. I've just put one link here. I can say a lot of things about myself, but I'm a Flutter GDE. So I think some of you know what is stand for GDE, Google Developer Expert. I'm also part of the Google Developer Advisory Board. So that means if we are friends together, maybe I will tell you something that Google is building that is kind of private for now. So I'm a lucky one today in Canada to be part of the Developer Advisory Board. I met some in Miami. We had a chance to connect there. And so I just enjoy coding, helping others in their journey of developing, taking their career to the next step. But to my day-to-day, I'm leading a software development department at Data Valley. It's a Canadian and US company. Nothing related to Flutter. We're helping customer in the journey with a Wi-Fi network. I'm just the lucky one, challenging the team to do the best to build a good software, right? And as I say, former Dart and Flutter GDE. No, I'm currently Dart and Flutter GDE. Let's go, Ashley. Data Valley, what they do? What they do? Don't want to put Data Valley on the map here, but basically, it's they want to be a trusted partner to help you in your Wi-Fi journey. When you decide to put the Wi-Fi in your office, so they basically working closely with Bell, TELUS to help you, right? And we're building basically software to help you find meaningful value of your Wi-Fi. How many users are connected to the Wi-Fi and all those kind of things, right? When you go to the airport, for example, Montreal Airport, when you connect to the Wi-Fi, it's my team is giving you access. Say it again. Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, no, not Bell, not Bell. We're working closely with Bell to give you access to Wi-Fi. That's the thing. Yeah. And the funny thing with that subject that I picked, talking about Google Cloud, is because I'm also former Google Cloud Premier Partner. I've built a company back in my day in Europe, in France, and we opened a Canadian office. I have some of my previous employees here. So that's why I decided that, okay, I will bring the best of both worlds that I'm working with to talk about how you can take advantage of Google Cloud to bring your development to the next level. Okay, so apologize me. We won't talk about Flutter, but we'll talk a little bit about that. Is it okay for you guys? I'm just going to try to see if I can connect this one to avoid touching the keyboard all the time. Let me check if it's working. Yeah, also I will go that way. Oh, I hope it's working. Not yet? Oh yeah, it's working. Let me come back. Oh. I'm trying to escape the I'm trying to be here, but when I'm here, it's not working. Yeah, maybe. Let me try. Basically, that's the remote. The receiver is here. So if I do like this, don't know why. No battery, no? Yeah, okay, so I'll stick with that. Um, so yeah, allow me to ask you the first question. How many of you know GCP? Can be an obvious question, but you never know, right? Yeah, I see some people doesn't raise their hands. How many of you are using that? You can know it, but you didn't use it. Okay. How many of you can consider themselves like expert? Yeah, I know you actually. I know you're gonna raise your hand. Okay. So before starting the conference, I was lucky the chance to talk with the guy who will do the next presentation. He asked me, oh, I know Firebase. It's the same thing. It's easy as a web developer, mobile developer to maybe have a chance to play with Firebase, not really GCP. But the easy answer that I would tell you is like Firebase is part of GCP today, okay? So everything you can do with Firebase, you can also do it with GCP. But GCP provides you more products over a large range of offer coming from infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, content as a service, and so on, right? So that's the platform provided by Google, okay? And to give you just so an overview, I shared with you this link you will see in the slides. Let's go to that link when you have a time, because I can take the whole hour to just talk about GCP and I'm sure that I won't have all the answer to your question. But that beautiful sheet will help you maybe understand, know every product and tools that you can use if you decide tomorrow to play with GCP. In that presentation, I've take the choice to not we cannot use everything though, right? And also when I will go to the demo, you will see that the package that I selected doesn't have implementation for all the products. That would be very elegant, ambitious to say that you have a package that is able to cover all the product. No, that won't be the case, right? So we will play with just 2 products to see the power of that in GCP. Okay. Let me go back to the slide. Quick introduction to function as a service. Is it a new word for you? You already heard that? Yes, no? And who's the first time? Who's the first time you heard it? Okay, it's the first time for you to hear function as a service. So the easy way for me to explain, you will heard sometimes serverless. Also, serverless. You ever heard that? Right before? Or function as a service to be more specific, because you can talk about platform as a service, desktop as a service, content as a service. When it comes to say function as a service, just an easy way for me as a developer, backend developer, for example, to say, I don't really care about how the server is running. I'm just going to create my code, run my algorithm, and just ship the code in somewhere, and someone is taking care of that, right? That's the function of service. And that's also the idea that I will show you with Dart, saying, okay, we're going to write quick code in Dart and let GCP take care of that, right? So the benefit is like a kind of cost optimization. You don't have to handle the server to take care of all those things. I want to say maybe the skills of maintaining the server. I know someone behind who's really expert on that on those things. Reducing the complexity of everything you're building, but if you bring your application public, you have many users, millions of users. You don't really have to care about the scaling. It can auto scale for you from one user to 100 to million. So that's one of the benefit of using that. Okay, so it's not only GCP who's providing a solution for that. We talk about cloud function in GCP, but I'm sure that some of you already heard about Lambda in AWS or function with Azure of Microsoft. Okay, just a quick introduction to know about the serverless approach. And to be honest and fair with you, some of the web developers jumping to Firebase sometimes because of that. That's a premier offer that you will have. You build your small application, or startups decide to use Firebase sometimes to take advantage of serverless or function as a service. All right. One of the challenge as a, let's say, Flutter developer who know how to write a code in Dart, after hearing serverless cloud function, maybe they're coming from AWS, they have experience with Lambda. They say, okay, how am I going to build how I'm going to take advantage of the serverless if I'm a Dart developer, quote unquote Flutter developer, right? I don't want to make the difference in that conference between Flutter developer and Dart developer. That's kind of different. But for now, let's say you're a Flutter developer, having experience with Dart. So one of the questions will be, whoa, how the hell I'm going to write my native cloud function in GCP. So I put a link here just to share with you one of the biggest challenge that that developer will face. If you look from the official documentation provided by GCP, we look the languages that is displayed here. As a Flutter, quote unquote, Dart developer, you will be like, Boris, shut the fuck up. Stop. There's no language, there's no Dart here, right? So yeah, that's one of the biggest challenge. Also me, as a Dart developer, fighting with Google every time. We want the language here, right? You have Go, Java, Python, PHP, but no Dart. That's crazy, right? Okay. So I've started the conference, the talk by saying function as a service. Okay, but there's no Dart here. Can we really say function as a service? Say it again. Yeah. So you already gave the tool. You already gave the solution, but just talk about in theory what is the idea behind the scene. So we're moving from function as a service to function as a service. So let's act like advisory board. We form a team of people who's building. We'll be like, okay, the community, the developer are asking us to put Dart here. Do you really want to do it? Knowing that they have maybe another solution using, as our friend just mentioned, Docker. Say it again, I'm sorry. You can do the same thing with. Yeah, you can do the same thing with VMware. I'm not sure to understand it. I want to say no, but I'm not really sure. To this platform the same is a pass, yeah. If I understand correctly, I want to say no, but maybe we can. We take the time. You trust Ashley, right? That's great. That's great. Trust me too. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the challenge, right? That's one of the challenge as a Flutter developer. After the conference, after this meetup, we will say, okay, I know how to code with that. Maybe you already know one of those languages, so you can take advantage of cloud function directly. But assuming that you know that and you want to leverage what you already learned, you won't be able to really implement function as a service. So let's move now to container as a service. Okay, let's stay here. So what is really the difference? To be simple in my answer is just taking advantage of Docker. Same approach. I'm writing my code. I'm not asking you to become a DevOps, an expert, or someone cocky saying, I know Docker. That's not the idea here. You can have a team who's really maintaining your Docker file, do everything, optimization, scaling, blah, 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 and so on. But if we keep the same idea of the function as a service, writing your code, and I let someone else take care of the deployment, the scaling, same thing that I've said about the cloud function. So we will do the same thing with container as a service. Someone else will deploy my container. Someone else will be responsible of the auto scaling and everything that's related to the life cycle of my container. So that will be the container as a service. Okay. We finish this conference, for example, and you want to remember something. Okay, maybe we already heard about container. I'm not an expert with Kubernetes, but a lot of companies talking about that. Or someone just broke maybe VMware, WebSphere. Can I use EC2? All those buzzwords. Oh my God, I don't know what is it. There's a lot of things. Oh, can I just use my computer as a VM? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so where should I run my thing, my application? Let's stick with what GCP will offer you, and we will demoing how to use Cloud Run. But as I say, we stick to function as a service or container as a service. If you want to use GCP, boom, you have a cloud function. Maybe I can do this. No, it's not working. Nothing is working today. Or you want to take advantage of just a container, someone else is taking care of that. You have Cloud Run. Or if you want to do the old-fashioned way, you're just saying, I have a VM, I will master everything, I will install everything. You still have just a VM, just a VM. GCP is a compute engine, AWS is going to be EC2. Okay, or you want to have a more strong, highest approach of maintaining your container, of scaling your application, going with Kubernetes, out of scope of this presentation. Okay, so in the demo, we'll build a small application and we'll take advantage of Cloud Run to deploy it. That's basically the challenge that I want to share with you today. Writing a small data application, deploying to GCP, see how Cloud Run is running. So at the end, you can say, okay, I can take advantage of GCP for my next application. Okay. So here just a slide for you. By the way, kudos to, I have to mention that I don't want to misspell her name, Vergadia. So she's a Google developer advocate. She's doing amazing job to try to simplify all the GCP documentation with this kind of sketch note. So it's not my work, right? It's her work, and kudos to her. So when you will have a chance maybe to see the slide again, feel free to visit her profile or webpage. She got a lot of sketch note like that. So here I just share with you what is really Cloud Run in terms of thinking like a DevOps guy or someone saying tomorrow I will use Cloud Run for my application. Security. If you start building on top of the cloud computing, you better prepare your credit card. They will tell you at the beginning, yo, it's free. Really? Really, I don't have to say that, but really, no, it's not really free. But you need to keep in mind that you need to pick a solution, a product that you will take care of you will have a close look of the pricing, right? And Cloud Run is really cheap on that regard. Okay, it's like a kind of Firebase. When startups starting using Firebase, is because they can play for free for long run, building the MVP. Now they start paying money, right? Same thing with Cloud Run here. So in terms of pricing, pay as you go, pay per use, but it's kind of really cheap. What is it? When we will do the demo, it's just basically deploying your application, and you can basically interact with your application through HTTP requests or something else. But we will do quick demo with just HTTP requests, and we will see how thing is going on. Okay. Maybe I can stop here. Quick question. Everything is fine. The move, the slow, the pace. The main difference is basically having your application running in a Docker container. In terms of the choices, Docker is not the only runtime for container, but just say Docker in general. But the cloud function, let's say for example, you pick in Python or you pick in Node.js, JavaScript, Node.js. So you will have, or Java, you will have a JVM, Java Virtual Machine base is running. Google is taking care of that, or Python runtime. So you see, it's like saying, okay, I'm building my Node.js application. You have to install every dependency on your computer, right? The difference will be, yeah, it's the runtime that all the dependency for you. And at the beginning of your application, as I say again, it's like you're doing the same thing on your computer. Be sure that you download all the dependencies. So it's the same thing is happening. So that's the difference between function as a service and container. The container is like just saying, okay, you have that Docker file, you have that image somewhere in the repository. Google will download it and make your application run. Oh, that's I'm going to be biased if I say they're taking care of the cache, they take care of everything. The thing that I don't want to go too much into GCP, they have their own registry. It's not like they will pull your container, not your container, your image from another hub. So I don't want to lose people, but it's like you will have your image in the Google container registry. So in terms of latency, you're already gaining something, right? But in terms of running, the time to run is the same thing that you will do in your computer. It's like, okay, Docker run, the time that your computer will bootstrap, all those things. The only difference would be, for example, okay, I have a small computer, the CPU, my machine is not a big machine, but in GCP, they will do all that task in a heavy machine with more CPU, right? But you will have to pay maybe. So don't forget about the difference. Okay, more power, more money.
Once it's built, it's very fast. When it's built IoT in music mode, not very fast compared to, for example, Java.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, of course, you can always play with this kind of configuration to trick your image or your environment in general to increase the speed. But as I say, I don't want to lose people because that's already kind of a divorce. If I start talking about that, it's another conference. Okay, so the demo that I've built for you, and it's also I will also share with you the blog where I wrote everything about how I built that application. If you want to fork the code and see how things is done, I'm using that application though every day, but I would just share with you a small part. What I'm doing is just like looking at my investment, my stock, and I play with that. So, but you will have just a slightly part, right? So we will use 12 data. It's just some of you know that API. I make it bigger. Okay, I will try to do it. Oh, I zoom, but the image is not, it's not really changing. Full screen. Help me. I already.
You can
Try to go Jim.
I'm you can do it. I'm not sure if you. Oh, okay. I'm not like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Is it okay now? It's fine? Yeah, it's like having my daughter, it's like every time showing me new thing, I'm like, whoa, okay. So the plan here will be, as I say, to call that API, and I was asking, do you know that API? Not really, so that's good. You're gonna see. So let's play with that after, right? So we will fetch some Amazon, Microsoft stock in real time, see the code. What is the code, actual code of those stocks? We will build that application or an application written in that line. We will deploy it to GCP in Cloud Run. And everything that we will fetch here, small logic that I will share with you, don't worry, it won't be difficult. We will store them in cloud storage. So with that, we already have a small pipeline that will help you understand GCP, see how you can build your data application, and tomorrow take advantage of GCP. And if you have a time, if you are motivated to see more, we're just gonna automate the schedule so the application is running uh, the frequency that we will decide instead of just calling the Cloud Run every time, invoking the HTTP request to have the Cloud Run running. So we will put in place what we call Cloud Scheduler. Is it okay? It's fine? It's a cool application? Okay. Let's go. Tell me. You're gonna invoke, you're gonna trigger. You're gonna do the right word is trigger your Cloud Run. Yeah. No. The whole application, let me explain again. I'm sure that some people is like, okay, Boris is going too fast. I have that logic who's going to run in Cloud Run. So just imagine that Docker container is running somewhere, just waiting for you. Call me. So in the demo, I will call him. I will call that container. But maybe I don't want to call it every time. I do maybe a cron. In VM, in Linux, you do a cron.
So it's an update of some storage of data somewhere that you're trying to do. What's that called?
With Cloud Scheduler?
No, I understand the cloud scheduler is going to be like that cron.
Just a cron job, yeah.
Trigger like the REST call.
Yes.
And that REST call is doing fetch.
Yeah, that application, the logic that we will write here is fetching something, and we just storing with a small logic. Okay, it's fine for everybody. Yeah. How do you handle what? Yeah, it's gonna be gonna see. You're gonna see here. Let's see the magic behind, and maybe you're gonna have question. Let's see the code. Oh, the exception error. You know, I'm not sure I'm a good developer on that now. So maybe we're gonna take the code, give to ChatGPT, and say, someone asked me that question. Please help me with that. Right? No, maybe I'm not good at that. So yeah, right? Okay. So but I know where you're going with that. Okay. So demo application. I think I already explained that with all the question that you asked me. Right? Okay. Three main things to build that application, to not build application, but as a developer, you have too many things. You have your IDE, you have the language, but three main things that I want you to remember at the end of that presentation. The first thing is what we call function framework. Let me click on it and see what is exactly behind the scene here. Function framework is well maintained by Google. You see, it's the cloud Google team behind. So it's basically that magic that will help you take your Dart code, do everything, and publish to Cloud Run. That's the first thing you have to know. You can build your Dart application and be like, okay, how I'm going to run it now? How I'm going to do to have it in Cloud Run? You pick this one, that package, you follow the documentation, and you will see simple annotation, simple code to add here and there, and we'll be able to just publish up your code to Cloud Run. That's the first thing that I want you to remember after all the things that I'm saying. Second thing, gcloud package. Someone after me will help show you how to build a package. That's the next presentation. But just consider just that package, gcloud. What is gcloud here? Let me start by saying something that I don't really like about the package. That package, it's not like you're going to pick the package and be able to take full advantage of GCP. No, 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 that's not true. You will have to stick with what it's telling you that you can use, right? I already see some question is coming, but I answered those questions. Cloud data store, just a NoSQL database. Cloud storage, your storage to store your file and everything. PubSub for messaging. If I say Kafka, if I say RabbitMQ, even messaging, PubSub is that solution provided by GCP. So that package will help our Dart code basically to interact with Google Cloud product. The first one, helping the code run in Cloud Run. The second package, interacting with GCP product. And the third one of my favorite, who's using VS Code? No, different question. Who is not using VS Code? Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I know you as a Flutter developer. That's true. That's great. Yeah, I remember. That was it. Yeah, a month ago, right? So you're still using Android Studio? Okay. Okay. So no. So no, but the thing is, as a developer, you know the IDE is like our baby. You want to be productive, so you pick the IDE that you love, you like, and be sure that to be productive. With my team, though, pick everything you want. I have no problem. Just produce and have fun. So Cloud Code will help us in the IDE to interact with GCP. That's the thing. Okay, that's only the thing. So you will see when I will do the demo in VS Code how I'm interacting with GCP. Okay, those three things after the demo presentation, just remember that, and I will be fine. Okay, so let's try to see if I can still open VS Code and play with that. The demo and everything is in GitHub, so you can fork it. And maybe I forgot to mention it, so I will share with you the code right now because I will forget it, I'm sure. This one. The repository, learning code, learning. Yeah, no, I will give that to you, right? Give that to you. Okay, good, that's fine. Okay, so let's just analyze this project. It's a simple Dart project. It's kind of look like a console application. No Flutter at all. Let me open just one file. You will see. Want me to zoom? You want to help me again? How to do all those things? Command plus. Yeah, that's great. The funny thing is, you forget all those shortcuts when you have a lot of screens. So it's true, right? Someone is with me. Thank you. So okay. So as I say, I put the project in a mode that where I don't want to do the live coding and just be cocky like I'm coding every day. I'm not coding every day. So you have your code here. What do I have here? Just share with you the model that we're going to play with. The model of, as I say, stock, right? You have the stock name, the security name. Let's say, for example, MFF for Microsoft, MFFT, I don't know. Security name will be Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. The exchange, NASDAQ, industry, blah, blah, blah. The number of shares that you got, frequency for dividends. So I'm telling you, I'm using that to monitor my investment. Is it an ETF and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I don't go into detail because I assume that you're already playing a little bit with Flutter. Here, we have three functions in the service class that we will try to implement. The first one, the to-do here, the first to-do, I will do something better that I prepared. The to-do, just let me share with you the to-do that we have to collect together. Three to do. The first one, just load the stock configuration. So I give you a stock, you can give me yours, load the configuration, we fetch the code, what is the actual price, and we store it in the class storage. Is it okay according to the diagram that I show you? This total, okay. So I'm not gonna really code live because it take a lot of time. We're just gonna take advantage of what Git provide us, and let's move to some steps. Okay. Yeah, it's a tricky, it's a good thing to do, right? If I start coding, I'm sure that I won't be able to finish now. So the first step is to show you how to load the configuration here. So the easy thing that I'm doing though, I have my configuration already set up because it's my stock. You can have your stock, right? Decide to play with some stocks. Just let's see what I have here. When you see that code as a Dart developer, Flutter developer, is it challenging for you? Yes, no? I'm trying to keep it really simple. Have the config as a JSON, take it as a list, as a map. I just return the list of stock with a feature because it's going to be asynchronous. Okay, let's just we play with this function and we see what it's going to give us. How can I zoom here? Do I do the same thing? Oh, beautiful, guys. I love it. Shortcut expert. My daughter, we're going to be happy. Okay, so demo v2. Okay, I'm this right place. Let's see. Dart lib local tester. Okay, something that I have to tell you just to play with the demo. I have here a simple local tester application. We want to use GCP, but for now, I want to show you what are we really doing locally on my machine. So I just create local tester application, demo, load stock configuration. I will do this again. Yeah, load stock configuration. As soon as everybody's okay with that, we move forward to the next step, fetch stock code, and we're going to write to GCP. So let's see first of all which stock we're going to play with. Okay, what's going on? Just want to be sure that okay, the VM use, because I have to use the last one. Don't do the demo effect. Okay. So what I just changed, I changed my application to be in the latest version of that. So that's why it was complaining. So as I told you, I have the configuration here. Local tester, load stock config. You see some stuff that is great that we all know, Amazon and blah, blah, blah. So nothing fancy here. Simple that application is fetching the configuration and displaying that to you. So let's move to the next step. Next step 2. Imagine that I code everything, blah, blah, blah. So what is the next step here? I will reduce it a little bit, like this. Okay, we're fetching the stock code. Same thing, not really fancy. If you remember the diagram, we have the logic. We're not talking about Cloud Run for now, just fetching something. You do that with Flutter every time when you call the server. I'm sure that you're doing that kind of magic. Let's go actually. Say it again, my friend. He's trying to ask me if I know about the security. And I'm going to tell him that for the demo, I have the credential on the project. I know where you're going. I have the credential on the project for now, right? Because it's a demo, right? I know what is going on with that. You want to see the credential? Because the project is on GitHub, you can play with that, but you don't have my credential. So you will have to go to that API and fetch, basically download your key, right? Smart guy. So you have that API call. I have the key as he was asking, the codes and the exchange. Nothing crazy. You're doing that with Flutter. You have your Flutter application. You're calling the server, external server. So the code that I've written here is exactly something that you're going to do, right? You have your JSON decode. You have your client is calling the URL. After you have the response, you do whatever you want with the response. The only thing that I'm doing here is for the particular stock we're talking about, I'm looking the price. the actual price, right? Let's try to do it. So local tester, let's call the API, and we're going to play with HG is Home Depot. So the actual price, wow, is $300. So everything is working so far. We're not talking about Claron for now. We're just playing with with that, and you see, we're building the application slowly, step by step. Let's move to the third part. Kind of different now. The third part, we want to interact with GCP. Loading the stock configuration, calling the API, external API to see the last price. Now we have to store it. We're going to store it on GCP, but we will do it locally. In the diagram, it was Claron was storing, but in fact, it's the logic that is running in Claron, so I can test it locally. That makes sense? Good. So let's try to do the step 3 here. And I will show you the step 3. And really, I really like the question that Ashley just asked me. Boris, where is your key? Because at some point you have a key to call the API, but you also need a key to interact with GCP. So be smart, don't reveal all your key, because someone can just basically play with your GCP environment.
So
Yeah.
GCP, you use
Cloud, you can use Secret Manager. We can do that. For the demo, I'm not using that. I'm not going. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's the plan if you want to think now about security. But the key name in GCP, for those of you who doesn't really know, we call it service account. Okay, so you have a service account who basically gives you the key to interact with GCP. So I'm not going there because it's another subject. So it's a high level just for you to understand. Okay, but all those keys are here. So I have the configuration, I have the key to interact with GCP, and I have the key to interact with the API. Okay. So let's have a quick look on the magic to write to GCP. Locally, we will interact with GCP and we will see if it's working. Now I need that package, gcloud package. I remember the package that I say, okay, with that package we will interact with GCP product. So I'm using that package here, and just stick to the line 79, 80, and 89. That's all the magic is happening. 79, I have that storage. I'm telling Google, you're going to use that project name Learning Sandbox. What is Learning Sandbox? Let's go there quickly to my Google Cloud Console. Here, I have Learning Sandbox. So everything that I will do, I will be able to interact with that project, Learning Sandbox. No magic here. Secondly, if we jump to the line 80, storage buckets. So the storage basically is a bucket where you will store everything you want to do. So at some point in Learning Sandbox, I will have test bucket Learning Sandbox. So I will have a bucket where I can play with, I can store everything. So let's have a quick look on that. So let's go there, and at the same time sharing with you GCP for those of you who hasn't had a chance to play with. So I go to cloud storage, I open bucket, and here you will see I have a lot of bucket, but you see test, I will zoom in. I will zoom. I know you're going to ask me to do that. Okay, test bucket Learning Sandbox. That makes sense for you? So we don't have to go to all the code, just pointing the necessary thing for you in order to understand. And the line 89, you're just going to write. Quick logic that we're doing, we have a file, whatever you want to do, you're just going to write there. Okay, so we're fetching stock code, last price, and we're storing that in GCP. Let's try to do it. So I'm coming back here, continue with local tester. Okay, so we have I'm not sure that I'm testing this one. Let me see what we're storing in local tester. Okay, in local tester, what I've just decided to store, if you see here, it's just a JSON saying demo filter Montreal. But to be honest with you, we're gonna change it. Demo, I know someone here. Let's say Justin. Yeah, and I will say someone else. Lee. No, give me another name so I will know you. What's your name? Surname? Alex. Okay, Justin and Alex, my new friend. Boom. So in order to be sure that I'm not kidding, all right? I'm not. It's not just demo. So we're really storing something. So let's go there. Okay, let's go to GCP now, and we're gonna see if it's working. The stock 2023 July day. We have demo. We have two JSON because I've played twice. We have the second one. Let's open the second one. So I'm doing like a developer. If everything is working, now I will go to Cloud. So here, I will open this JSON. Maybe it's not the best thing to do. Oh, I have it, right? So you can ensure that Justin and Alex, my new friend, is working. So the whole cycle, the whole workflow is working. From there, I can call the senior DevOps guy and say, you know what, I'm that developer, put that code in GCP, right? Now that's what I basically decided to be here with us. You know that that's not something really crazy to do. Now, boys, show us how to deploy to GCP. Next step, okay? Three things I ask you to remember: the function framework, how to transform your code in something capable of be deployed in Cloud Run. G-Cloud to interact with GCP. We're already using G-Cloud because we were able to store that JSON file, check, and VS Code able to interact in the IDE with GCP. So let's do it now that we have that code, it's working. I will come here, you see Cloud Code in my VS Code. The beauty is like if I click on it, I will ask something. Actually, I know you know about it. Right? Play with this one. Cloud Code. Yeah. So the beauty for developer, even if you're not DevOps, even if you don't know really about GCP, and don't be afraid with people saying I'm a GCP expert. Say no, I don't have to be an expert. I'm stick to VS Code and I can interact with GCP here, right? So I will go to Cloud Run because it's the purpose of the demo. Why are you asking me to log in? I was supposed to already log in. You're asking me to log in, but I was thinking, oh, doesn't have to do it. I already did it. It's supposed to be logged in. Yeah, I'm very satisfied, of course. What do you think? You don't have to do it. I don't want to do it. It's the real demo effect. Wondering why it's not. Because I changed the internet connection. Supposed to launch a pop-up. Maybe I will try to. Tell me. That's why I have to use Android Studio, really. No, I think maybe because, yeah, tell me. Wait. I think I already got it, that's why. No, give me a moment here. Just, I think I got it, guys. Why I doesn't use it before? I was thinking I already have it, that's why. Because I have something with all my historic commands. Sorry for that part. It was supposed to already be logged in, right? So let me try to, because I don't want to go to GCP too much and want to stick to already authenticated. So if I come back here, I will close it and we'll restart it again. Don't save. Start VS Code again. Welcome. It seems okay. Yeah. I will add a project again. Give me a moment, guys. Sorry for that. Voice Learning Box, G Cloud, Demo V2, Data Feature Service. And from here, it's working. Now that it's working, it's connecting to my, so we have a credential to connect with GCP with my account. It's connecting to a project like that, random project. It's my training that I give on Dart and Flutter. So I will switch the project to go to, remember, which project do you have to pick? Learning Sandbox, exactly. So let's switch here. It will say, okay. So he's presenting me all the project that I have on GCP I'm working with. I will use, the first one is the Sandbox. From there, it's connecting to GCP. It's looking that, okay, because to prepare the demo, I already have one instance that is running. So what I will do here is to say, okay, data fetcher service, it will be able, it will be able to look at my project, have data fetcher service, understand the configuration, understand the configuration, understand the configuration. No magic here. You have the configuration here in the Docker file. Okay. So if I remove that, no, it won't be really able to understand the configuration. When I say configuration, able to understand the configuration is mean that you want to build a Docker image with that and connect to GCP. So let me go back to cloud. And I will say something here, really, really fun. I don't know if you're able to see. Please run that locally. That's where the magic is happening. Run that code locally. So we will be able to run Docker image of my code locally and interact with GCP. So let's play with that. Let's see what's going to happen. Open the console and we're going to try to be like a professional developer. Look what's happening. So he's doing something magic here, magic thing here. He's just starting something in my machine in order to help me have my containers running, quote unquote, mini cube. So let's go to the detail. So in the detail, no, don't look at it. It's going to be scaring you. I don't want to scare you. Just going to wait. It's taking locally to run the container is running many Kubernetes on my machine locally. I'm not still using GCP, but locally is creating an environment for me in order to run the container. To be sure that everything is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Not yet. Not yet. Everything is on my machine for now, locally. Not yet. The next step, after we will see that I have data server, data fetcher service. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. That's where the magic is happening. I'm gonna just press a button and we're gonna publish. That's the beauty of that. Yeah.
And can you connect the service to deploy scaling as well?
It will all, yeah, as soon as the service will be in GCP, I don't really care about that now. It will scale for me.
So that would be the next step.
If I want that to scale, yes, I would trust this, not GCP. I would trust the cloud to do it for me. That would be automatic. From one user to 100 to million user, I can sleep. I'm gonna scale. Okay. Oh, I have an error. Why? Why do I have an error? Let me see. I'm not supposed to have an error here. Let me go there. Why do I have an error? I know why I have an error. Because I stick to the step 3. We need to move to step 5. I think. Yeah, I was. The step 5 is not to play with demo, it's to play with the real stuff, right? Okay. The last step, by the way, I was talking, but I didn't change that. So let me try it again. Sorry for that. Demo effect. I will do something.
Faster.
Are we on time? I'm talking too much. It's fine. My time is expired. So I stop. I stop here. Okay.
Just finish this.
They like it. No, I will do. I will do fast. I will do fast. After this, we're moving fast. Okay. So just what I want to show them is locally. We have the project is running locally. I have an HTTP URL that I can call. I don't need to be an expert on Docker here. That's basically what I want to do that presentation with you. So let's call this one. Don't act like a geek. We will open in the browser. What are we gonna have here? Cloud run with that lang is okay. That's just a message that I share with you. Let's go to the code. Into the code. Something changed into the code. So I have a function with just this line, cloud function from package provided by GCP, and the magic will happen. So we'll be able to know that that code will run in Docker, and every time that I will call the URL, it will trigger that. And somewhere here, I'm doing the same thing, load the stock, fetching the code, doing some magic, and writing in GCP. And after that, cloud run with that lang is okay. That message, just a message to tell you that everything is fine that we're seeing here. Let's go to GCP now. Here in the bucket, I will just refresh it. Till today, not a demo anymore. We have all the stock that's been fetched. Just to finish that, he asks a quick question saying, oh, how are we going to really deploy it now to GCP because we are doing that locally. So I'll call the local host. That's not the real world. The real world is to deploy it in production. So at the same time, I don't need to be a GCP expert, just as that developer. Go back here, and now here, instead of just pressing the play button, I will say deploy. I don't know if you see deploy to Cloud Run. Something that you're going to ask me, you verify everything, my connection, you verify also if I have in my account the necessary thing to do it. You will share with me where you're going to deploy it. Now you need to be kind of have a knowledge, but that is interesting as a Dart developer. Okay, we're going to pick North America, maybe Montreal, maybe Paris, maybe Brazil, whatever you want to deploy that service. We're going to name something. I know someone asked about the registry, was my friend there. You see, it's a GCP registry. So you're going to deploy it in GCP directly. You're going to use a service account in terms of security. You don't see the keys as actually mentioned. You just know who is holding that key with the service account. And you're going to ask me, do you want to do the job, the magic locally before deploying, or you want to use cloud build? I already done the dev test in local. Let's change a little bit for you in order to know more about GCP and what you can do. I will choose cloud build. So instead of building with my machine, because in some use cases, your machine won't be enough. Let's use the cloud, and if you have enough, again, you're going to pay for that. So we're going to use Docker and the Docker file. Let's deploy. Boom. We're pushing production here. So while it's doing that, let's go to GCP and see. So I'm opening here Cloud Build. I will open the dashboard. And if everything is fine, we're supposed to have something is running. So the same thing it was doing, my machine is doing it here. Basically that. So I'm moving fast now. Don't have to wait. So after all those things will be finished, while it's doing that, it can take maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, taking a minute. Let's squeeze that. We will go to Cloud Run. So we will deploy the same Docker image that I have locally with localhost, and it will give me that data fetcher service here with an URL that I can trigger fetch. This is good. So instead of having localhost, I have something I can share with you, and you can start make me pay GCP. So if we call that, we're gonna have the same thing. Oh, it's hello world. That's beauty though, because the last time it was hello world. So maybe we're gonna wait minutes. You give me minutes, okay, to have the last version deploy, and we're gonna have it's okay. It's not hello world. So let's go to cloud build. Maybe wait. It's just a minute. I think it's gonna be a minute, 15 seconds. It's not taking too long. I can take a question. Yeah, just ask me a question if you have. No. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. So the question is, what is the startup time of a service after your cloud scheduler triggers? Because usually the problem with FAAS is if you're using Java or other languages that
Yeah.
are slow startup, it's hard. You have to use
That's
Go
a
or
tricky
Rust.
question. That's a tricky question. That's a really good one. As you mentioned, every time that's where we're trying to optimize the application, the startup time. If you're using Java, I know a lot of a lot of Go developer saying to Java, your thing is not really powerful because of the startup time. In terms of CAS, container as a service, do I really have an answer for you on that? I will say depend on how you optimize your Docker file, how you optimize it. You can, yeah. We're gonna look at the I will share with you, right? But saying it's fast is kind of, I would say, quote unquote subject. It's like, yeah, I can say it's fast, you can say it's not really fast according to your standard. Um, the data application alone, if you do the benchmark with Node.js, I would say no, it's pretty fast today. I'm not saying don't use Node.js, not what I'm saying, but it's pretty fast. It's really good. In terms of cloud run, we're going to look at it. So just do the demo, we look at the startup time, and we're answering live your question without me being biased and selling Google in that regard. So the job is done. We have the cloud run is there. We have this one, we have the URL, and let's open it. And we're supposed to have now, and instead of hello world, we have cloud run. And if you go to the storage, you will see, but not necessary to go there. Let's try to answer Ashley's question by looking at the, I want to say the log, maybe. Log is the right one where I have to look. For the network, I'm in terms of response, that's slow, but it's not. Yeah, it's this one, right? It take time of 5 millisecond. Yeah, 500 millisecond. Yeah. Is it fast? No, really, it's not. It's terrible, right? So, yeah. So it depends. That's why those kind of questions sometimes depend. We can talk. Is it fast? Not fast? I don't really care. I'm going to sleep. I just want my data to be fetched. In that use case, though. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, keep on running. Here it's available. I can give you that URL and you can just make me pay. I'm gonna go. I don't think so. No, it doesn't. It's the one gonna destroy. If I ask him to do it, he will do it. But there is available in production for everybody to call it. That you're talking about cloud function. Cloud function will start in the runtime, do the job, and kill it. The cost is associated to the execution. That URL is there. When you call it, the logic that is happening, that's where you're paying for it. Yeah, the cost. Yeah, that's where you.
I think we can.
Last one.
Taking time. Yeah.
I have a question.
Details. Was it free here?
Headless. I
Platform
forgot the
set
name
here.
of that, but it's like I always say sleep mode, but
It's drops the icon.
is it good? But that's basically what I want to share with you. And the last step, if you look at the diagram, was about to go to
No, it will be
the
quicker.
scheduler
I think.
and just it's a cron. So let me share that with them though, please. So it's just a cron. So if you go to the scheduler, you create your cron like you used to do in Linux or whatever you have the habit to do, and you just write a cron saying every minute just do it. So there's no magic there, right? So after that, I hope that you will have a chance now to enjoy playing with GC or with Flutter, Dart, and maybe
GCP
more back-end development with GCP. That's it for me, guys.
Maybe ask the question.
So feel free to follow me on Twitter, everything. I'm available. Okay.